G'day, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube land. Roknot here. We're not going to talk about the hashtag couch goalie thing today. Today I kind of want to talk about what has been going on with me. And, my mental health issues that have been going on. So for probably about 26 years I've been battling one form or another of depression. And it hasn't really been a whole forefront problem up until like the last 7 years. And then really came to a head within the last year. I've had a lot of, within the last couple of years, I've had a lot of health issues where I'm sick to my stomach just about every morning. I suffer from headaches / migraines every day. And we've done tests. Like I've done an endoscope, I've done a colonoscopy, they found nothing. They've done ultrasounds on my entire abdomen, nothing. Blood work, nothing. There's nothing physical or nothing, that they can see from all their tests. And they've done an MRI on my brain. Everything's fine there. So they can't tell me why I'm having the headaches. But back in March, near the end of March there, that week just before Good Friday, that Monday, I got admitted to my local hospital here on a Form 1. Which I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know what that means, but a Form 1 means you are a danger to yourself and or danger to others. At which point I probably was. About a couple months ahead of that, I had fallen very low. I started drinking just about every day, hiding it from my wife, of course. I started becoming very verbally aggressive towards people, lashing out at everybody. But I'd go to work and I'd still be the happy, jovial guy that everybody knew. I'd just put on a mask and I'd wear that mask the whole day. And by the time I got home, I was just so tired of wearing the mask that I'd come home and I'd lash out at my family. And that's no way to be a father. I'm a father of 2 young, beautiful children and a husband to a very loving wife. And I wasn't treating any of them the way they should have been treated. So, probably 3 months before all that, I started seeing my psychologist again from when I first had a breakdown about 7 years ago. And I started talking to him, but I wasn't telling him everything he needed to know. I was just talking about, the tip of the iceberg. And then one day, I was cooking lunch for everybody at my house. And the kids wanted to help me cook. My wife was in the kitchen. And I just blew up at everybody and I kicked them out of the kitchen. Which, of course, started a screaming match between me and my wife. Because I was being an asshole again. She didn't understand why I was doing it. And, at that point, she was really she was angry, and after we'd been yelling, she's like, "What's going on with you?" And I was still just so angry, and then I finally told her. I was very vague about what was going on in my head. I was having visions that played out like videos. Like, you'd hit play on this video, for example, and you would see it. But I saw it all first person view of me harming people, which is not who I am. And my wife told me that, no, I told her I was having bad thoughts, really bad thoughts. So she told me I had to go to, well, next time I saw my psychologist, that I had to tell him this. Well, it's exactly what I did. The following Monday, I had an appointment with him, and I told him everything. I told him the visions I was having, who I was seeing me hurting, and how I was seeing me hurting them. And I broke down like I'd never broken down before. And that's when he started the questionnaire. And then that's when he called my wife from her work. And next thing I know, I'm in the room with her and my psychologist, and he's talking about me going to the hospital to get some medication, to which I'm hearing in my head that, oh yes, I'm going to go to the hospital, I'm going to get some medication, and I'm going to go home and work on things. So then I talked to a doctor while I was at the hospital, and I told him what was going on in my head, and he put me on a Form 1, which means I was locked in the psych ward of the hospital for 72 hours. It was by far the worst 72 hours of my life. I never thought I was going to leave that place. I thought my wife was going to leave me. I thought my life was over. But when you're locked in a room that's not very big, well, of course, there's a whole wing there. You can walk around and do other things. But when you have no contact to the outside world for 72 hours, you have a lot of time to reflect. I'll tell you more about my experiences in the hospital in another video. But I was released the Thursday before Good Friday, thankfully. So that was the end of March. It is now October. So I've been almost out of the hospital for 7 months now. With, again, work with my psychologist, who I see. When I first got out of the hospital for the first couple of months, I saw him once a month, or once a week. Now I see him about once a month, just to kind of go over things and see how things are going. I see my family doctor about once a month as well. I also see a psychiatrist through the hospital every 2 months. And then for a little while there, I was doing group sessions. Now, the group sessions weren't necessarily therapy, but they were they were informative sessions. So you would talk about like intrusive thoughts, like what I was having. You'd talk about behaviors, talk about emotions and stuff like that. And a lot of people who watch these videos and think, well, that's all common sense shit. But when your head's fucked up, it's not that common sense. And for some of us, it's easier to understand than others. Like I know there's some people who have mental illness like myself, who have harder times doing stuff than I do. Like I have anxiety, and I have recently been diagnosed bipolar. So I know some people, their anxiety levels stop them from doing stuff altogether, where mine essentially just make me vomit every morning. I guess, or cause me to have headaches. Right now I'm on some medications. I'm on actually 3. I'm on Cipralax, which is anti-anxiety. I'm on trazodone to help me sleep at night. And Divalproex, that's my mood stabilizer. And yeah, with the mood stabilizer, I have to have my my blood tested once a month for the first 3 months to make sure that everything, basically to make sure it's not killing my liver or kidneys. Yeah. But as far as the intrusive thoughts go, and thoughts of doing harm, they're mostly gone by the wayside now, with help of realizing that, sometimes they just come in stressful situations, and they're my greatest fears. With the moods, the bipolar is still hard to control. It's easier on the mood stabilizer, but I find it's sometimes I lose my shit or become very angry for weeks over nothing. But one thing, if I could tell anybody who has to, deal with this sort of stuff on a regular basis, your biggest thing that you should remember is not, it's easier said than done, because I can barely do it myself. But when it comes to negative stuff, you just have to not rent space in your brain for it. Somebody gets you down, don't worry about it. Somebody does something you don't want them to do, well, you can't control them. You can't control what other people do. You can only control what you do, what you say, how you act. You can't control anything other than yourself. And a lot of people with anxiety and depression, once you realize that, it's easier to deal with. I started realizing a lot of that myself, especially with my kids. Yeah, I'm their dad and I'm supposed to teach them stuff, but I gotta remember that they're their own people as well, and I can't control that it's gonna take me 12 times telling them to put on their shoes for them to finally do it. I can't lose my shit every time they don't listen to me the first time. I've got to teach them properly to listen rather than just fly off the handle, right? But It's hard. Like, it's really hard. And I'm not gonna sit here and preach and tell you all that, oh my God, it's so easy and blah, 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 blah. And even when you have all of the right tools in your toolbox, it's still not easy. It's still not easy. It really isn't. It's a long road. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to have a support system. Whether it's a friend you talk to, whether it's a psychologist, whether or not it's just journaling or whatever. That's what you need to do. That's what this series is going to be all about. This is going to be my mental health series, where I talk about my mental health journey. There's going to be a playlist set for this where you guys can come here and check on my mental health. And I'm still going to try to do the odd video game video every now and again. Maybe some live streams. I probably won't do much in the way of pickups anymore because I don't really buy anything retro anymore. I've pretty much sold it all. But yeah. See, that's another part of my bipolar. I just kind of all over the place, right? So, fuck. Even if you're having a bad day and you just need somebody to talk to, fuck, hit me up. My Facebook thing is down below. Hit that link. Send Roknot a message. I'll talk to you. I'll listen. Shit, I won't even judge you. I got no right to judge anybody. That's another thing. Don't judge people. We're all people. We're all on the same fucking game of life. We're all trying to be the best person we can be. Some of us have it easier than others. Some of us, it appears we have it easier than others. Just because somebody has their, they look pretty and they're dressed in nice clothes and drive a nice car, that doesn't mean they're not like a couple $1 million in debt, up to their fucking eyeballs and about to do freaking bankruptcy, so they're sweating their balls off or whatever because of that. You could see me, like, fuck, I'm wearing a shirt with a hole in it and some fucking bleach stains on here. I'm doing okay. Just be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Alright? Anyways, I'm not going to do the normal YouTube outro. I'll see all y'all. Fucking hell. I can't speak today. I'll see you all on the next video.